Welcome to the session. Topic of this session is rural poverty, alleviation strategy and their assessment. After the independence, it was urgently felt to start the development programs so that the problem of rural poverty can be tackled by enhancing the income of the poor peoples or by providing the employment opportunities to the people of the country, so that they come out of the problem of the poverty. And different programs have been started, different activities have been started time to time. A number of the experiment have been done even before the independence, and programs after the independence, we started with the community development program, then we have shifted to the agriculture production program, then we have shifted our focus to the social security program, then later on we adopted a approach of integrated program in this all types of activities, social security, agriculture production program, the employment generation programs. So we have followed the integrated approach for the rural poverty alleviation, and actually we have followed the planned approach of the development, and actually based on the review and assessment of the previous programs, different types of new programs launched time to time. And basically in this session we will be discussing about the different programs started by the government for alleviation of the rural poverty. Learning objective of this session is to explain the initial steps taken in India after independence for the rural and agricultural development. Then we will discuss about the backgrounds and rationale of launching separate programs for rural poverty alleviations. Then we will also examine the recent programs for rural development. So actually after the independence, first we have started the community development programs in the 1952, and basically this complete approach of the community development program was based on the approach we followed on the ITAWA project, and it was basically multi-dimensional projects. And so here we took all aspects of rural problems in a coordinated manner, so through a single agency basically. And in this community development program there was a less focus on the the agriculture development or agriculture production increase, because we were facing a serious problem, food shortage in the country, and there was not sufficient focus on the agriculture production under this program. So the government prompted to launch a special program on the food production, and then focus shifted towards the agriculture production program. And the first we have started Indian Agriculture District Programs, IADP, and actually these programs was have an objective to immediately increase the agriculture production. So actually we have selected the high potential area for rapid production increase, and actually this program was started in the 1960-61 initially in the 7 districts in the 7 states, and identified 7 different crops, and later on 16 more districts were added under this intensive agriculture district program. So all types of supports were provided in the districts to increase the agriculture production, so that we can supply the sufficient amount of food grain to our population. And then we have moved to the intensive agriculture area programs, IAAP, in the year 1960-63, and this program was little diluted programs and with a small area of operation. So here area of operation was basically below, and purpose was to increase the agriculture production. Then in the mid 60s we have adopted the high yielding variety programs, and here we have introduced the high yielding variety of wheat and rice, which were developed in the Mexico and Philippines, and for wheat in the Mexico varieties, for wheat crops varieties were brought from Mexico, and for rice varieties were brought from the Philippines. This program, yielding variety programs or other programs, they led to the green revolution technologies, and the idea was to increase the agriculture production. Then in case of animal husbandry also, we have started the few programs like key village schemes in the 1952, and this was the first systematic attempt to improve the quality and productivity of cattle and buffaloes in the country. Then in the year 1964-65, on the concept of this intensive agriculture district program, the intensive cattle development program was started. The idea was to provide the improved practices and services to the cattle owner, and improved practices were brought in the animal rearing, like cattle breeding and castration of scrub bulls, veterinary aid, disease control, introduction of yielding variety milch cattle, subsidies and incentives were also provided for the milk production, feed and fodder development, and dairy extension activities were also taken. And this program, the intensive cattle development program, based on the success, the country started the larger program, that is the Operation Flood 1 and Operation Flood 2 programs, which led the country in the number 1 in the milk production in the world. Then country focus is shift from the agriculture production programs to the social justice programs. So we have started the programs on social justice in the 4th 5-year plans, that is for the period of 1969 to 74. And we have started certain programs like small farmer development agencies, which focus on the development of the small farmers. And then we have started another program, marginal farmers and agricultural laborers. And then we have also focused for the certain areas like drought prone area programs. Then actually this program was renamed, or there was approach was shift from 95-96, and this program was implemented based on the watershed approach. And then we have also started the desert development program. So here in all these programs, basically we have targeted the disadvantaged section of the societies or disadvantaged area, like small farmers or marginal farmers or agricultural laborer, or the areas like drought prone areas or desert areas, and to have development in all these areas or section of the people. And in the 5-year plan, basically we have started the another programs for like command area development programs in the year 1974-75, and actually this program again renamed with different approach, that is command area development and water management programs in the year 2004. And then we have started the food for work programs in 1977. Basically purpose was to provide the work for the rural people, particularly during the lean employment period of the year, because in certain period of time there is no work in agriculture, so the people are not doing any job or they don't have any work. So in that period the idea was to provide the employment through the food for work program. Then actually this program, it was also targeted to create the durable assets in the rural areas, and also this program was developed as a national rural employment program, NREP, in the country. Then actually the more broad or comprehensive programs was brought in the country, that is integrated rural development programs, IRDP program, in the year 1978-79, and basically purpose was to deal all dimensions of the rural poverty and through a more integrated approach. And for implementation of these programs, integrated rural development programs, a separate agency, that is District Rural Development Agency, DRDA, was created. And actually the purpose or the objective was to assist these selected below poverty line families by providing them the self-employment opportunities, and by undertaking the self-employment opportunities by the BPL families. And actually under this program, the government provided income generating assets through a package of assistance including the subsidies, credits and training. So it actually objective was to start some self-employment opportunities, self-employment activities by the BPL family, so that they can get some work and they start earning some income, and so there is no need to go for job getting activity on the other sector. And for this program, actually another program was started in the year 1979, that is training of rural youth for self-employment. So actually the idea was to provide some skill to the rural youth so they can start the self-employment activity under the IRDP program. And also some schemes of IRDP started in the year 1982-83, that is development of women and children in rural areas, and there was a focus on the women and children under the IRDP program. And then in the year 1989, a major program, YOJANA-GRAMIN (JRY) started. Basically, in the National Rural Employment Program (NREP) and Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program (RLEGP), they were merged into the YOJANA, and in this program started with the sharing of the expenditure by the central government and the state government. 80% share was from the central government, 20% share was from the state government. And for YOJANA, the central fund was directly transferred to the districts, and the idea was that the employment should be provided to one member of BPL family under the YOJANA. And then a more thoughtful or a big program, employment assurance schemes, was started in the year 93, and here idea was to provide assured wage employment of 100 days during the lean agriculture season. And this program was started basically in the selected block of drought, desert and tribal and hill areas. And again the expenditure was shared between the central government and state government, and the 80% share was from the central government, 20% share was from the state government. And then in the 9th 5-year plan, the IRDP program, Integrated Rural Development Program, was made more comprehensive, and various sub schemes like TRISHAM, Dwakra, Sitra and Ganga Kalyan Yojana (GKY), they were merged again into the IRDP. And here the approach of IRDP program was shift from individual to the self-help group mode. And earlier objective was to start the activity by the individual person of a BPL family, or but now the promotion was given to the self-employment activities on the group basis. So the idea was promoted for the formulation of the creation of the self-help groups in the villages. And here under this program, specific economic viable activities are identified by the self-help group, and they were supported by providing the credit from the institutional sources as a continuous line of credit. And then one more program, Million Well Scheme (MWS), was also started under the 9th 5-year plan, and purpose was to build the well in the agriculture in the rural areas, so that they can provide the water to the agriculture for the agriculture purpose, also to consume the water in the for the agriculture purpose. And here again the support were provided to dig the well in the rural areas. And in the 9th 5-year plan, the National Social Assistance Program was also started. And here the purpose was to provide some social assistance to the people in the rural areas, and like old age pension, widow pension, financial assistance in case of death of the primary bread earners, and then maternity benefit schemes. Such social security schemes or the facilities were provided under the National Social Assistance Program. And then a more comprehensive programs, big programs from Jayanti Gram Swaraj Gar Yojana, SGSY, was started in the year 1999, and again the Food for Work program was also working in the year 2001. In the 10th 5-year plan, there was a continuous emphasis on the self-employment through the Swaraj Jayanti Gramin Swaraj Gar Yojana, and basically on the self-help group approach. And this Swaraj Jayanti Gram Rozgar Yojana was a single wage employment program. And then the country also started the rural housing program, that is Indra Awas Yojana, and various social security program like National Social Assistance Program that have been transferred from the central government to the state government. And there was also focus on the land reform during the 10th 5-year plan, particularly on the consolidation of the small holdings in the rural area for agriculture purpose. And recently we have started different type of programs like SHYAMA PRASAD MUKHERJI RURBAN missions, SPRM. And the purpose of this program is to stimulate local economic development, enhance basic services, and create well-planned urban clusters. So actually in this program's objective was to develop 300 urban clusters different states which have the the facilities like urban area. So in the rural area, developing 300 clusters which have all the facilities like urban area. So that's why they were called as urban clusters. And so 300 clusters have to be developed under this program and covering all the states, Union Territory. And idea is to, objective is to bridge the rural urban divide in terms of the facilities, the infrastructure, so in terms of socio-economic activities. So that was the objective. Then the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005 it was a flagship program from the central government, and the objective was to have an enhancement of the livelihood security in the rural areas. And this act basically provide a guarantee of 100-day wage employment in every financial year to every household whose adult member is volunteered to do the unskilled manual work. And this is the most important programs which are being run by the central government. And there are 11.71 active workers under this program. They are getting job employment under the MANTRI program, and out of that there are 19% workers are from the SC community, then around 16% from the ST communities who are working under this MANTRI program. Then Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana-GRAMIN is another flagship program started by the central government recently. Basically this program was started on 1st April 2016, and the objective of this program to provide houses to all by the year 2022. And under this program, assistance of 1.2 lakh rupees is provided in the plain region, and assistance of 1.3 lakh is provided in the hilly areas. And other than the monetary assistance, the 90 unskilled labor is provided from the MANTRI in the plain areas, and 95 unskilled labor is provided from the MANTRI in the hilly areas. And then tollage is also provided from the SBM program, the Swachh Bharat Mission program. and then the drinking water is also provided, piped drinking water is also provided, electricity connection is also provided, and LPG connection is also provided under the this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. There are the sharing of the expenditure between the central government and state government. 60% fund is provided by the central government and 40% fund is provided by the state government. And in case of the hilly area, 90% fund is provided by the central government, 10% fund is provided by the state government. And the selection criteria of beneficiary in this program is different. In these programs, in the house deprivation parameters, in the socio-economic and caste census, which was conducted in the 2011, were followed. So, for providing the technical support, a National Technical Support Agency was also created, who provide the technique training to the masons in the country, and for proper implementation and monitoring of these programs, digital infrastructure and basically two apps, AWAAS Soft and AWAAS app, they were developed to monitor the implementation of this program. And they so far 1 crore 45 lakhs 21 lakhs the AWAAS have been sanctioned, and 1 crore 1 lakhs 47,349 the houses have been constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. The another important program, that is the DEENDAYAL ANTYODAYA Yojana, the National Rural Livelihood Mission project. And actually we were implementing this Swarna Jayanti Gram Swaraj Yojana in 1999, and then we have started this National Rural Livelihood Missions in the year 2011 on 3rd June. And then this program again we have started as a DEENDAYAL ANTYODAYA Yojana in 2015, which have objective of creating the efficient and effective institutional platform for the development of rural people and enabling them to increase livelihood income through the sustainable livelihood enhancement and improved access to the financial resources. So the provision was there to create self-managed self-help group and federated institution, and the objective was to cover almost 7 crore rural household under this mission. And it has different component like institutional building and capacity building. So which in case of institutional building, the objective is to harness the latent potential of rural poor, provide the universal social mobilization, building institution of the poor, and the capacity building also one of the component under this institutional building component. Then financial inclusion is another programs like making poor preferred client of financial institution, the capitalizing the institutions of the poor, access to the credit and self-help credit linkages. And then under this livelihood promotion was another important component. So here the agriculture, non-timber forest products, they were some of the areas they implement and self-employment. And then for social inclusion and development, there was a focus is more on the vulnerable section of the society. And for financial management, making poor the preferred client of the banking system and mobilizing bank credit, this was one of the major component of the National Rural Livelihood Mission. Then Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana was another flagship program by the central government to provide the connectivity to unconnected habitations as part of the poverty reduction strategy in the country. And then we have different national social assistance programs which was started in the 1995, like Indira Gandhi National Old Age Pension Scheme, Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme, Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme, then National Family Benefit Schemes was there. And we have started, the country started this DEENDAYAL UPADHYAYA GRAMEEN KAUSHALYA Yojana in the September 2014 as a part of the National Rural Livelihood Mission, and objective was to adding the diversity to the income of the rural families and to cater the career aspiration of the rural youth. And this program is basically a part of the Skill India campaign. and it support the social and economic program of the governments like Make in India, Digital India, Smart Cities, Startup India, Stand Up India campaign. And actually in this program basically training was provided to more than 10 lakhs candidates, and placement were also provided to more than 5.3 lakhs candidates as on 1st April 2020. And the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was also started as a part of the National Mission for Financial Inclusion in August 2014. And under this program, at least one basic bank account were provided to every household, and they were also provided the financial literacy, access to the credit and social security cover, and implemented by the Ministry of Finance. One basic saving bank deposit account is opened in any bank branch, and they were provided a free rupee card with inbuilt accident insurance coverage of 1 lakh rupees, and they can also avail the overdraft facility up to 5,000 with applicable interest rate. And as on June 2018, 13.89 crore beneficiaries were benefited by this scheme, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. And now we can sum up the session that we have started different poverty alleviation program in the country, and we have started the community development program. Then we have focused our poverty alleviation programs on the agriculture production programs like IADP, IAP, and then high yielding variety programs which lead to the green revolution technology. But it was also paid to start some social justice programs, because some section or some part of the country were not benefited from the earlier programs, so they need to be provided the equitable opportunity of the development. So we have started the integrated rural development program, which was a more comprehensive self-improvement generation activities or program. And later on there was a major shift and reorganization of poverty alleviation program, and emphasis was shift on from individual approach to the group efforts, and group approach were followed, and basically and recently again our recent programs, the focus is on the group approach, and there was a focus is also on the financial inclusions, provide the banking or account to all the individuals in the country. And then there is a focus on the rural infrastructure development, and also there is a focus on the human capital development in the country. With this, I thank you.